Hey everyone, and welcome to our Mute and Recharge from November 3rd, 2022. My name is Valentin Guerra. I'm one of the elementary technology and integration specialists. With me are Debbie Pingle and Marco Torres. Some housekeeping rules for today's session. Please make sure that you keep your mic muted. Please feel free to type questions in the chat. Myself, Marco, and Debbie will be here to answer your questions. If you have not registered on the professional development system, please do so at this time and use session code 257990. Remember to do the remote check-in code also in the PD system, and that is PSJA Tech. Starting us off, Gabriella Cantu, which is our teacher and CIT at Parmel Elementary. Gabriella, I'm going to stop sharing so you can. Gabby, you're muted.
Thank you, Valentin. Okay. So I'm going to be talking about, let me open my Padlet. So for today, I'm going to be showing you how to use Padlet, what it is, what features it has, and how can you use Padlet in the classroom for your students. Okay, so I'm going to go to Padlet.com. And it's a free version. There's a free version and there's also one that you can buy. I use the free version for right now. And so you're gonna sign up for free if you want to use it, if it's something that you find useful for your classroom. And you can use the PSJA credentials to log in. So since I have already been using it, it's already there for me. I just click on my email. And this is how Padlet looks like. Okay, so Padlet it's an online platform where you can collaborate with your students, where they can say do exit tickets or just anything that you want to do the students together with you. That's where you can use Padlet. I know Nearpod has something similar, but sometimes I like to use Padlet just to a little quick after finishing a lesson, do a little exit ticket for them. So your Padlet will look similar to mine. For the free version, you have up to 4 to 5 boards that you can use. Okay, but I'm going to show you what you can do if you want to use more during the year. Okay, so the first thing that you have to do once you are in your Padlet house or your home screen, you're gonna make a Padlet. So you're gonna go to the top, you're gonna make a Padlet, and they give you different options. Okay, so you have 1, 2, 3, 7. There's a timeline, a shelf, a wall, and then a grid. So most of the time when I do exit tickets, I just click on the wall. Okay, so I'm gonna click right now on the wall. And then here on your right side, you have different things to modify. Okay, first you want to change the title. So if I'm doing something for my students, like today, it will be technology training. So I just put, make sure you type it correctly. Then a description, how are you feeling today? Or if it's an exit ticket or something else that you're asking your students, you type it there. Okay. Then it gives you also options to, do you want to add over here on the top, you see the title, then you see the question on the bottom. And then of course, if you want to add a little emoji or something for the students to relate to your question, you can just simply click on it and then it starts showing over here. Okay. Once you're done, you go back into the arrow and then now they give you options for your wallpaper. They provide one for you. If you click on the arrow to go to the side, you can choose different colors. Okay, if you want just a specific color for it, you also have patterns that they provide. So there's several there for you to choose. Then they also have pictures. So they have different ones. And if you have wallpaper, I know sometimes we like to save things from the internet or something that you're talking about in the subject that you want them to relate to, you simply click on it and then you choose it. Or when you go add your own, you can upload one from your computer or search images on the web, or if you want to draw something and that drawing will come out in the background. Okay, so that's for the wallpaper. Then it gives you options to change the font. I always leave it as is. Here on the bottom, let me scroll down a little bit. You have reactions. If you want your students to be able to react to other students' posts, I always just put the little heart where they can like. You can put a star for them to vote or give them a grade. I just put the heart. I teach second grade, so I like for them just to like their classmates' post. I also require approval. So when I require approval, the students are not able to see other responses unless I approve it. Okay, so I will turn it on, and then I also filter the profanity. Okay, just because sometimes our students like to play around. So I leave it like that. Once I'm done, I click next and I start posting. So this is what the students will see. Once they are ready, I go and click share right here on the little arrow. I copy the link, and then once my students are ready, I tell them go to your, let me share it in the Teams. Hold on, where are you guys? Oh, chat. So if you want to open it, so that way you can play around and see what the students will see. So then once you share the link, the students will open their Padlet and they start posting. With my second graders, for them to post, they have to go to the plus or double click on the screen and the little posting comes out. So I always tell them, write your name to see who is writing it. If they don't write their name, then I don't approve it. I always tell them, okay, I have one, it doesn't show names. So I tell them to write their name and then they answer the question that we're asking. I have been practicing with them. I know for this year they have to do telpas in the computer where they have to be typing. So we've been practicing, okay, let's do a complete sentence, with capital letters, punctuation, make a space. And then I show them here, you have the different options. So in the three little dots, they have options to do. They can upload if it's a document that they did and you want for them to take a picture. They can use the camera. Then they can also search for images, okay, a GIF, the web search, a YouTube video, drawings, audio recording, if you want for them to practice their speaking. So then from there, how are you feeling today? Excited or happy, or then you just click and then you just publish. Okay, so every student will see only what I approve. If I don't approve it, then they don't see it. Okay, and then once they're there, and if I say, guys, you didn't write a capital letter, or you didn't, right now, if you're looking at my screen, you will see, this is what the teacher view will be, okay? You only see mine for right now. Once I approve, then you start seeing your colleagues or your classmates writing what they're doing. Sometimes they're like, Miss, I want to add or I want to change. They have three little dots right here in the top corner. Then they can edit their post. And from there, if they forgot their name, they go back, add their name, and change the things they need to. Now, let me show you on the very top over here where it says Padlet. When you click there, it will take you to your home. So right now I have 5. I think that's the max that it allows you for free. Let me make a Padlet and you see it will come out for me to pay for it, which I don't want to. So if I don't want to pay, there's different options you have. You can archive your Padlets. So if right here, this one, it's a pronouns that we did. Let me open so that way you can see what the students did. I use the one, I don't know the name, but it gives me options to put over here at the top. So I put the pronouns, what it meant. I put an anchor chart from the web, and then I put, we do English and Spanish. So I put yo, I, and then I explain to my students, okay, we're going to create a sentence. You can do it in English. You can do it in Spanish, using the word, the pronombre yo, the pronoun I. And the students, some of them we didn't finish. So that's why there's a lot that I needed to approve and check if they were doing with a capital letter, with a sentence, with a space, with periods. So, and the students can see the other ones. So this is one that we did. I know I also introduced it to my technology club, and they were writing all about me. So this one was the other one where they did, what's your name? What grade, what's your favorite food? If this is something that you can use at the beginning to introduce the class. What's your favorite movie? So the students were able, and then we practiced how to draw. Since it's their screens are touchable, they were able to draw their favorite teams. They were able to look for different things, and then they took pictures. It allows them to take photos of themselves. Some of them were very shy to come out, so but it's fun for the students, and they practice their keyboarding, which is something that they can that they need to practice a lot. There's also over here on your left side. Do I still have time, or there's also over here shared
You
and
still
the
have 4
gallery.
minutes.
Okay, on the gallery there's some already pre-made. Okay, so I saw this one, that life cycle of the butterfly. When you open it, these are ones that people have created, or maybe Padlet created, that you can use. So if you want to use this with your students, you go and click on more, and you're gonna remake this Padlet. You can copy the design the way it is, and you can also copy the post that it's already there, and you share it. You click on it, and then you click submit. But since I already have my Max over there, it doesn't allow me. So in order for me to, let me close it and let me go back. So you have options, either if you want to delete it, or you can archive your Padlets. If you click here, you can archive it, and or you can delete the Padlet if you're not going to use it anymore. Now, if you want to save it, I know for our observations and for we need artifacts and proof that we're using it and things like that, you can save your Padlet into PDF, and then you can upload into your t-test wherever it lands on. So you can click more, and then it gives you options to, it's very small. Let me see, where is the printing? Share and export. And then here, it gives you option. Are you gonna share it in an email, or you wanna save an image of these, save as a PDF? So you can always save it before you delete it. And then that way you can upload to your t-test. Okay, any questions so far? I don't know if I went too fast.
There's no questions on the chat.
Okay. So basically that's what Padlet is. I mean, you can do a lot of different things. I use it a lot for exit tickets or for collaboration with the students. So that way, and some of them, you know, they see others, they're like, Miss, how do I spell this? But once they see their friends, they try, oh, okay. And sometimes I have the same ones, but it's good for them to practice, especially when they struggle with writing. It's a good way for them to practice.
Thank
Okay.
you so much.
Thank you.
Taking us next to our next presentation, we have Raul Vazquez, our teacher in CIT at Farias Elementary. Go ahead, Raul.
Hello, everyone. Hope you're all doing good. We're gonna have some fun here today. It's gonna be interactive, and I have some prizes for you guys. So welcome. I've been out for a long while. Had to take care of some health issues, but now everything's all good. So I'm gonna post a link on the chat right here. I want to talk about this really cool app, this really cool website called Mural, M-U-R-A-L, like a wall, like Mural. And there's a link for memberships to a mural, which I created earlier. And Mural is like Jamboard, but for adults, like on steroids, basically, right? It has bigger tools. It has a bigger whiteboard, It can go on forever if you wanted to. And it's a really great way to collaborate with your friends, with your coworkers in meetings. You can save yourself from so many meetings uh, just by collaborating on a document on Mural. So here's what I'll do. What I'll do is I posted the link so you can join in as a member. They have free memberships, and they do have paid memberships where they allow you to create more files uh, and have more projects. But the free one has worked really well for me for the past 3 months that I've used it, and it's been really fun. What's really funny is that I haven't been able to use it so much to collaborate with my teachers at my school because I've been out. But I have been working with some other projects outside of my school, some personal projects and business projects, where it's made travel a lot easier. I don't have to like show up somewhere and show somebody my drawing or my sketch or a file. We can pull up lesson plans and circle and highlight and do stuff. And you can be at like the famous share walls meetings and see the document on here instead of having a booklet that thick printed out for you for no reason, and where you're writing and highlighting and you lose the papers. You have it all on here. You can draw on it with your iPad or on your computer. It's super interactive. It's a lot of fun. So I'm going to share my screen for the mural that I had started already. I named it a mural playground or unmute and recharge playground. So let me just pull it up here so y'all see what that looks like. And we're all good there. Can y'all see that screen? On here, I'd started this already before. So on here, we can draw. There's different tools. And there is an enormous amount of tools on here. It works with pictures. It works with animated GIFs. You can zoom in, zoom out. If you feel that you need room, we can drag this out and extend it as big as we want to. Today, I'm just, I know there's not that many people here today, so I'm trying to keep it a little bit smaller, but you can see how big this workspace is. And on here, you can import a PDF page, blow it up, zoom in, highlight, circle. If we are all at the same meeting talking about the same document, you have the amazing ability of taking collaborative notes with your team. So as a group of teachers, this is incredibly valuable and something that I used to get in trouble for, where I'm like at a meeting doing these notes and we're all taking notes together and presenters, et cetera, be like, you can't be taking notes that way. And like, it's awesome. And then you can share those notes with your whole school, your team. You don't lose them. They're searchable. It's a lot of fun. So I already see some people that are putting up things here. So somebody put an animated GIF, and what's really cool is that you can see who put up every object on here, and you can see people's names attached to the arrow. So for those of you that are familiar with Jamboard would do a little colorful dot, and you had to almost like memorize who your students were, and like in live mode and see who's doing what, or like go look them up, and it was just too slow to go see who was what color dot. And the other disadvantage of Jamboard, even though I love Jamboard, I fought for Jamboard in my school because people thought it was a game, and it's not a game. It's an incredible tool, and here it's even better. So on Jamboard, sadly, if you have a secondary device like an iPad, if I join in on two different devices, you lose track of the colors. It changes the colors for you, and it makes it difficult. And what I used to do when I was I had a really cool experience last year where I got to teach remote conferencing for all of 5th grade. And I'm not kidding you. I had in January and February, almost to March, when COVID got really bad and kids were out, I had about 600 students on my roster, and about 350 of them were showing up every day to class for about a month. And a lot of kids to keep track of, and it's a lot of work, but it let me find ways to be able to work together in a more efficient and bigger way, and reducing my footprint with paper, just printed paper. If I had to print paper stuff for 350 kids to distribute to their parents and send stuff home and whatever, the school would have gone broke just from printing costs alone. And here, as we create more digital methods to increase our accountability and our efficiency and our efficacy as educators, this is gold. It's amazing. So let's do a little game here. I know some people are already posting up little gifts and some messages. So let me move over here to a blank spot. And actually what's really cool is that as you join up, you can be a member and participate, or you can be just a visitor where you don't have to have a membership and you can see, but the downside is that you can't participate and manipulate what's on there. So imagine being at a meeting and they give you a printed PDF and you have to like draw and highlight and make notes and you don't have room because like, or the notes are too tiny, you can't see. Imagine importing your PDF in here and being able to draw and highlight and do something. So let's see. Let me pull up a little prize here. So I like to give prizes and cool stuff. And I brought a little prize here with me. That's here. I'm gonna grab it to my magic bag. Oh, here we go. Very cool. I have one of my virtual reality glasses that are really, really cool that I had made last year, or that we got made last year with our teacher grant, our mini grants with Seferino Farias right there, an awesome school, Blue Ribbon School. That's why it's blue. So I'm gonna raffle, or I'm gonna give this away to the first person who can put a one-page PDF of a document on here, and we can check it out together. So let's see what that's gonna be. And as that happens, and as more people join in and people are joining in up the membership, I'll explain some of the cool features that are on here. And also, if you have any questions, feel free to shout out. I know there's not that many here of us in the presentation. So you feel free to unmute your microphone and just like raise your hand, shout out, and feel free to ask questions. On my screen right now, I'm only working on one screen, so it's hard for me to go back and forth to the chat in case you guys do or want to post something on there. But I'll make sure they have all the information, all the links for Mural on here through the chat. And I think somebody just pasted something here. Oh, here we go. Denisse Garcia. Denisse, thank you. Where are you from, Denisse? What school? You can type it in there also. Or
Read mock.
Read mock. So hey, you just got some virtual reality glasses that are
Awesome.
amazing. They love these at my school. We got enough of these. They're so inexpensive. I go on and on about these. They're cheaper than a pair of safety scissors. And I got enough of them for every student from 3rd grade to 5th grade. And all my 2nd graders this year are all mad at me because they don't have their set just yet. So it's growing already. It's growing already, and they're really cool. So you can actually, since we have a PDF here from Denisse, I will make sure they get this.
Document.
Okay, I put a Word document. Okay, so I don't say that you cheated or anything, but it wasn't a PDF. I'm just kidding. Same thing.
Because
I'll
it's
have this here.
editable. So in case you want to edit it for your school, you can edit it.
It's true. Now I don't know if it's editable through Mural. We can try. I'm new to this program as well, and I'm sure that and what I've seen in the past 3 months is they're always adding new features. So that would be a cool feature that we can even suggest. But anyways, I'll have these here for you at the IT office for you to pick them up. I'll put your name on them here.
So I think it is editable. If you click open at the corner, it'll download a copy of it as a Word.
Oh, awesome. Even better. So very cool. Now, the reason I chose a PDF is because it treats it just as a JPEG, as an image. But in there, you can actually just go in and use any of the tools down here to highlight, to draw, to point things out, to zoom in. See, like here I'm zooming in, and we can be like, hey, you know what? And actually, normally I like doing this with my iPad, but since I'm in a different office than where I'm normally at, for some reason it doesn't like the network here. So if it comes back to life, we'll use the iPad just because the dexterity is so much nicer when you can just draw with your hand than you can with a mouse. But here, for like strategies, and what grade do you teach there normally? Let's see here. This looks like almost like 5th grade. What is this from there, ma'am?
I'm muted. Sorry. I
Oh.
teach 4th grade.
4th? Okay.
Yeah.
You have
So
to do one of the upper grades.
yeah.
So I don't know if you have the same strategies that we do, or that we had, because I haven't been in there in a while. But we can highlight words in different colors, switch out your colors here with a little drop, or even pick a better color that pops out more. Like hey, we have to review how things are phrased in these word problems. Make sure the kids either highlight the definition box and can cross out definitions that don't make sense, etc. Or which one makes the most sense, and make their notes around here. So even as teachers, we can make notes about the composition of a question, which is something that my team did, my old team did 2 years ago, where we really went into every question and be like, hey, why, are they doing this kind of space or wasted space, or why is this phrased this way and why is it not phrased that, or hey, is this really a mistake right here with a blank space that's underlined? Because we would often find mistakes in the STAR test materials or the prep materials, or the quizzes that would be provided by, by curriculum. Like, hey, is this an error, or is this something that the kids are supposed to find, And in your team, it makes it easier for you all to take notes collaboratively instead of being like individually with your own notes. And then you try to go back to your notes and you don't know what you wrote. And in my case, my mom said that I should have been a doctor because I have like terrible handwriting. And when I go look at my notes again, it's like, it's like, I don't even know why. I think I just take notes because it helps me remember faster, But in our teams and our teacher teams and in our teams of our coworkers, I think our admin is very wise in picking people with different capabilities and different abilities. So like in every team that I've been in like these past 3 years, it's like you can tell who's the nerd, who's the lady who takes really good notes, who's the one with a good handwriting, and we all have our strengths. And imagine taking notes where everyone showcases their strengths in one document. And then you can elaborate on them and create better content for your students. And that's just amazing. There's nothing else that offers that that level of collaboration across the district, in one school, in one meeting. We had a meeting yesterday at my school in which I wish we had this together, because we reviewed this one document and it was a 1-page document, and I was like, hey, we don't all have to take notes, the same notes on this one, on many copies of the same thing. Like for me, I love like the saving the trees, I don't want to waste paper, but it's like, we don't need to print all this. We had had it as a PDF and it's searchable, and we could have collaborated and drawn our own notes and put our own ideas on these documents. So it's a very cool way of doing that, of collaborating, and it makes everything more efficient, saves yourself a ton of time and paper with meetings. And it's like our mandate from the district says, we have to prepare our students for the 21st century. We're creating 21st century students, but we can't be doing it in an old way. We can't be all 20th century about it, like my students say. I think that as we look at data, which has been like another thing that I've been working on, looking at data from the hard part of the pandemic that we experienced 2 years ago and even last year, I think that a lot of the performance, and this is my belief. It's not like I haven't proved it yet, but my belief is that the pandemic and what we went through didn't, or would wouldn't have affected us as badly as it did had we delivered instruction with all the cool new tools that we've been given. Because I love my IT department here, and all my people in IT, because they've given us so many tools like these meetings. But sometimes the hiccups and the snags were having new tools, but they got used in an old way. That's like
4:45. So I'm gonna cut
Oh,
you
thank
out
you.
so you can just wrap it up.
Yes. So I think that it's the same conversation as 100 years ago as cars were invented and overtook the horses. People were still parking their cars in barns, or in stables. It's like akin to that. So we have to really look at tools like Mural to help our collaboration and enhance our education and make us more efficient as educators. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. My information is here on the chat. And thank you all. And ma'am, I'll have these here for you at the IT office to pick up whenever you're available. Thank you.
Awesome. That was great. You shared it with us before, and I've been playing with it and I love it. And what I like it is that you can use it in a lot of different devices, like on my phone, which is an Android, on an iPad, on a computer. Thank you so much, Raul. And next, last but not least, we have Denisse Garcia, our teacher at Reed and Mock Elementary, presenting now. Ms. Garcia, you can now share your screen.
Thank you. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, I'm trying to hold on to share where I can see myself. I hope you can see me here. Okay. Zach, can you see me? I'm so lost. Oh, this is so weird.
Yeah, we can see you. That looks great.
Okay. All right. So I'm doing a lesson on Nearpod. Now, it's not your typical Nearpod. It's not teaching you how to create a Nearpod. It's more of teaching you how to implement it in your lesson cycle. I'm going to focus more on reading because I know we do have sharing wills for math, but I'm sure it can be done with math, but I haven't tried it. So I wanted to do this year, include all my entire lesson for the entire week on an Nearpod. That was my goal for myself and my team. So the district gave us some Nearpods here and there, but not really where it gave us the lesson cycle or kind of like the lesson plan they give us, because they give us the lesson plan and they want us to do the fluency and then vocabulary and then go into main idea. So they were just giving us kind of like videos or things that were already created by Nearpod that match the objective or the TEK of the week. So this is how you create a lesson. So I know, and Dave was going to be like, no, but y'all say to do it on Google Slides first and then put it onto an Nearpod. But to me, that was very hard. And I found it easier to just do it on Nearpod. And I hope that the district never stops buying it, because then I'll lose my lessons or I'll pay for it. So it's easier here, I feel, than Slides, because everything is available with the click of a button. If you add content and activities here, you're able to look at everything that they have for you. So I use the slides just like I would use the Google Slides. Then a video, a quiz, they have every single one in here for you to add on here without having to go into the Google Slides and then it has it on the side and you're dealing with two platforms at the same time. This one's just one, which I liked better. So it's easier to create it that way. It made it easier for me to convince myself to do a whole week's worth. I also was going to do one day at a time, as in like one Nearpod per day. But then I thought about it and I'm like, okay, that's too many days, too many weeks, too many lessons. So this is how it would look after you have finished. After you have finished doing an entire week. It takes time, yes, but it's totally worth it because your lesson is framed and you know how to start from beginning to end. And I'm hoping to do curriculum writing this summer with reading in hopes that this could be done for all grade levels. I teach fourth grade, so I made it very a la star, I guess you would say. But I follow the lesson cycle, including with sustainability goals that the district wants us to implement in our lessons. I do daily objectives with fill in the blanks, which can help out with those new star questions where the students are able to drag and drop. So this fill in the blank is awesome. And I do their objective like this so that it is, so they are engaged in it. We do discussions. We do the collaborate board, which is very similar to Padlet. It's already included. We read it. We do vocabulary on here. I got them little pens from Amazon because they do have Chromebooks that are that they're touchscreen, so they're able to draw on them. I do the media pieces here, so everything is here by week. So I have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and it gets pretty lengthy. But after a while, you're pretty much copying slides and just changing the backgrounds. I also do the lesson cycles of I do, you do, we do together. So all of that's also included in here. So this is how it would look on the editing side for you to add or delete stuff. Now, this is how it would look. This is another one that I did. This is how it would look already done. I love adding GIFs. My kids find it so funny and entertaining. And you can add so many things. So it starts off with Monday, daily objective. You start with the media piece. I hope this downloads. This is the fill in the blank one. So they're able to fill in the blank. This is the teacher side. If you see at the bottom, I have all my slides. Next is your media piece, which they have VR field trips. This one was about fossils, and it was just the kids love when these are included. So that's an awesome media piece for them to see. We have quick discussions on them. And then at the bottom, you could see, I don't know if you can see in the corner, I added the SIF strategies. So everything that I'm doing, I'm trying to include the SIF strategies. So let's say you're getting a walkthrough and they want to see, are you using these SIF strategies? Well, my Nearpod slide has it. And I'm showing you that this is scaffolding. We're building on schema. The title of the story of the week. This is the collaborate board, just like Padlet. I hope it loads. There we go. Making predictions. And then we read. We look at the genre. You can add PDFs on here as well so the kids can see it. Connecting it to sustainability. And at the bottom, as you see, we have SIF, writing to learn, because we're writing this on a sticky note, answering questions. And then vocabulary as well, they're able to do on here, and they do complete it. So I had to create a lot of this stuff in I like to use, not Google Slides, I like to use PowerPoint. So I created this on the side, I screenshot it, and then I added as a background. So you're gonna be like, okay, that's a lot of work. But once you do it one time, then after that, it's already saved. So you're just moving it to another Nearpod, copying it and pasting it. So my whole entire week is on here, as well as closing the lesson. Did we meet our goal? Where we talk about back to our objective and did we meet it? And then we move on to Tuesdays now. And then it continues to go down the whole entire week. It's time consuming, but it is worth it. So as you can see here, you're kind of copying the same thing, just changing the background. I like to change the GIFs because they'll be different each week. Change the colors, and that's pretty much it. But I wanted to show that it is doable. It does take time, but you can do it, and you just have to dive in, and it's kind of like trial and error, what works for you. My first Nearpod was not as polished as the Nearpod that I have now this week or the following week. And if you take turns with your team creating it, like you'll create one Nearpod for the week and I'll create another one. That way it doesn't seem like a heavy load. That would also work. We do that as well here at our campus. And any questions? I went really, really fast.
No, you did amazing. Oh my God, I'm so impressed. Way to go. Like,
I have a comment if
okay.
you have a second. So the VR ecosystem within Nearpod works really well, and your students will love this because it works awesome on the screen. But once they have it like this, it's just another world. And there's actually a video that the district shot of me doing a lesson at the end of the year last year of my students on Mars, and that was really cool. I'll send you a link to that as well, ma'am. But thank you.
Yeah,
That was really
it's
cool.
Well, thank you for sharing, Raul.
Yeah, just put the app on your phone and it works just the same.
Thank you very much, everyone. Denisse, I really loved how you framed the lesson. You started doing the gradual release model. Super impressed. I hope you really work with curriculum writing next summer so you can just embed it and make them even eat it up. Because that was, I was just talking to Debbie on the side note, and I'm like, Debbie, this is amazing. Okay, awesome.
I know they
So-
need to hire me, and I'll do it all.
So just to finish us up, I just wanted to thank everybody for attending. Join us next week for more tech ideas and more sessions for technology. Remember that we're having Canvember, our training series on Canva, all November long. On Tuesdays, our next one will be on 11/8, which will be next Tuesday, on creating and customizing materials with Canva for education. Next day, on Wednesday, on November 9th, we have our first Java chat for the month on Nearpod. So we're going to be just chit-chatting, talking about Nearpod. Denisse, I will want for you to join if you go to school early. It's from 7:15 to 7:45. Me, Debbie, and Marco just chit-chat. It's usually like us and whoever wants to just tell us what you're doing with Nearpod and what are things that you've been struggling. And the discussion that I want to have with you is maybe see, I really like how I'm not going to take you away from your idea, but I know that probably Debbie started telling you, if you don't do it on slides, you're going to lose them if we don't have them. But that's exactly what I want to get your immersive idea. And probably you're right. Maybe it's a lot easier to do it that way. We do like it on Google Slides and recommend it just for that situation. And on Thursday next week, we have another Unmute and Recharge, continuing on till the next month that we have also on December 6th, December 14th, December 8th. We do have an Unmute and Recharge middle school focus on the November 10th. Now, we are going to be doing a little raffle for our 4 attendees today. And here we go. The first name that's going to be pulled out is Denisse. You win one of our prizes. Congratulations. We'll make sure that we send it to you. You're going to get a prize pack full of goodies just for you. Thank you for attending and presenting. Congratulations. And next, our second prize pack winner will be Marco Pedraza. Mr. Pedraza, congratulations. And we'll send it to you too. Thank you very much, everyone, for attending. If you have any questions, we'll be here. And I'm going to stop the recording now.
Okay, sorry, guys. I'm going to have to watch